Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use the Pathfinder tool, which is a real helpful tool when you are creating shapes and so on to laser cut. So let's go ahead and get started. What the Pathfinder tool allows you to do is to combine shapes into a complex shape. So let's, for instance, let's just create a rounded rectangle here. And let's go ahead and just make that a common size here. I'll go, I'll go 8 inches long by, um, no, sorry. Let's go 6 inches by 4 or by 2. There. Now that's a start, and you can see we have rounded corners on that, and we're ready to go. Okay, and now let's go ahead and put a circle radiating out from the center of this. So I'm going to change this to the circle or ellipse tool, and then I want to start drawing right from the center of this. So if you hold the shift and the alt button down, that allows me to draw right from the center. Now why did that? Let's see here. If I go center, if I hold the alt button down, must be, oh, I forgot to give it a stroke color here. So let's undo that. And now let's go back and select this and go ahead and give it a stroke color. I'm going to go ahead and make it a red, and I'll just make it a 1-point line right now. I still have this. If this happens to be in inches, you can change it back to points. To change this unit here, if you click edit and then preferences and then units, this is where you can change, and I have the general set to inches here and the stroke set to inches because we need to go to a 0.001 stroke eventually, but that is so light that you can hardly see it. I'm going to go ahead and leave that on inches right now, and let's just give it a stroke length of let's go just 0.008, and that's something that we can see. And now let's try this ellipse tool, and then if you get right to the center, now if you hold shift and alt, now I think it will work, and yeah, you can see it coming down here, and now that's circle is perfectly centered over this rectangle. And then the way the Pathfinder tool works, first of all, to open it, you go Window and then Pathfinder, and it is right here. Now what it there's several things Pathfinder can do, but the one that we are probably going to use most here is called the Unite button. So now if I select both of these objects, what the Unite button does is clean up where they cross over, because right now the laser would cut the circle and would cut the rectangle, but then we're going to end up with this part fragmented, this part fragmented, this part fragmented. They're going to end up with a bunch of pieces. So to put these all together, if you simply select these and use the Unite tool, then that will clean it up and give you a nice shape. So you can combine rectangles, stars, circles, ellipses, and you can create yourself a unique shape. Now, some of you might want to do text as well. So let me just take this and move this up off the thing. Now, if we use text, let's just type in Hoover here, and we'll get that a little bit bigger just so we can see what we're working with here now. And I would suggest using a font that we're going to have to scoot these letters together so they're overlapping each other, and then we'll use the Unite tool so it'll cut them out so it won't be separate letters, but rather the whole word, and they'll be kind of welded together, if you will. So let's go up and find a font, and I like to use this Cooper Black or Cooper Standard works. Those both work pretty well. So let's go ahead. Okay, so now we have this, and now right now it's filled with black. That was the default for letters. So let's go ahead and give it no fill and go ahead and outline it with a red line for now. And we'll have to go back and change these lines. But once you have it, the stroke to this, the problem is it's still seeing this as one graphic. So if we try and use the unite, well, first of all, they're not even overlapping, but if you try and use the unite, it's not going to do you any good. So in order to get these so we can control them individually, right click and just create outlines. When you create outlines, that takes it away from a font, so it's no longer considered a font. It is just considered graphics in the shape of this font. And now once we have that, I'm going to start here in the middle. And if we break it apart now, let's see, if we go here and then say ungroup, now we have each of these separate. And now I can just grab the O, and I'm just using my arrow key to move that over and just to overlap with the V. And now I'll take this O and move this over a little bit and overlap, and the H. So we want to just overlap a little bit, and you have to kind of think about the outline here and make sure that we can still recognize the letters. Now this is where it's going to be a little weak. Right down here at the bottom, you can see it's going to overlap right here. Not going to be real strong from here to here. You could draw in a little rectangle connecting the top and bottom if you wanted, but just so you get the idea here. Okay, so now we have everything overlapping, and let's go ahead. Let's try to connect these just to well, let's just go ahead and leave it that way for now. Otherwise, I could just draw a rectangle and overlap it here to here slightly, and it would put that in. But now if you select all of these now, and now you can use the unite tool, and then they're all united together. So some of you might want to incorporate some text into your design like this, and that got a little funky here, so I may want to undo and scoot these together again, scoot the H over just a little bit more. That gets a little goofy in there, but I guess it would probably work. The laser definitely will do it. And then before you laser, you have to change this stroke to 0.001 inches, which is very, very faint. You can hardly see it unless you zoom way in, and then you can see it. But out here, it's going to be hard to see. So I wouldn't do that until you're just ready to go ahead and laser engrave. So that's some of the basics on the Pathfinder and uniting the shapes. Good luck on your laser project.